Alright, and good thing to find first in the shop is Silver Rupee. It's a really good thing. And a bracelet. And having the hint glasses on Sandrod is actually really good as well, because the hint glasses are one of the most useless items in the entire game. The bell only being 100 rupees is really good, because with that, you could basically warp anywhere that you have a weather vane to. Live hints are really good to get really early on. The behind ice keys or the ice gizmos chest is a red rupee for these runners, and that's a chest that doesn't take too long to get, but it still takes some time and a quick detour. So it's good to know that that item is useless. And for this tournament, we do have a setting on that is chest size matches content, so no matter what happens, if you can see the chest, you can know if it is a major item or not. Both Seb and foomafu currently getting the scoop fruit, which is required for a check in Southern Hyrule, just underneath Link's house. The lamp is a fairly good item to get this early, even if you don't have a sword, because the lamp is one of the few things that can cut down these trees. And an early game quake, that is really, really good for these runners, because that opens up all of low roll after you get the ability to merge into walls. An early power glove for will allow him to get up onto Death Mountain, and gives the ability for him to get the Titan's Mitt later on. The last chest in this area is the small key, which means that the runners will have to come back here, or might have to come back here at some point to get the last item past the right wall. Foomafu intentionally death warp back to get the bell and this piece of master ore on the right and the left. With that power glove that Foomafu ended up getting, then go over to this heart piece, pick up this rock, and collect it. Foomafu just got a really great hint on near Eastern Palace. Also entering Eastern Palace, which if you do not have merge, would be impossible as of right now until merge is obtained. And Seb go and get that heart piece that Foomafu already got, that purple rupee. That group of enemies swordless. And we see that chest up on the top is a big chest. So Phil will go get that. The hint that Seb just got was that Lost Woods is on the path to Margot Mill, who is the boss of the House of Gales. And Fu getting a small key from that big chest over on the right of Eastern Palace. Meanwhile, Seb is climbing up Death Mountain, which could lead to nothing at this point. There's only one item that you can actually get in here without the ability to merge. And it was actually really useful. Seb gets the ability to merge into walls and looks at the other chest through the actual wall. That is true, Nightcap. Seb will never go to EP Charm. That hint actually is a really good thing to get because that check only is one of the few checks that you can actually get with a painting. So that is one of the, I believe, 4 checks that you can get with a painting. The Haunted Grove Stump being a heart piece, and Seb's going to low roll with 3 hearts. And Green Tunic. This could end well or badly. Foomafu finds another big chest in Eastern Palace. With a sword in it. That's pretty helpful. And Seb going to get the Hinoc. There are 6 items in this one area, and it is really easy to intentionally death warp out of here if there is nothing in if the Hinoc gives you nothing, because the Hinoc deals 4 hearts of damage to you. Seb's not going to do that though, and instead is going to go and warp. The Vegan House chest is small, so the runners will not have to come back there. Will not have to go back there. So, with Dark Palace being on the way to Moldorm, Dark Palace is a pendant. However, the runners will have to go there, and with the fact that there's really only one thing that could be there to be on the path to Moldorm. I believe the hammer is on the path to Moldorm, and I don't remember if anything else is on the path to Moldorm. However, if the hammer is in Dark Palace, that blocks out a painting until the runners go into Dark Palace to get the hammer. Foomafu going up to Death Mountain, meaning that they're about to get merge. Yes, the sword is in the sword that Foomafu currently has is an EP, and that is the only sword we have come across at this point. I'm getting the Kaku treasure dungeon. One of the more annoying treasure dungeons, in my opinion. And Foomafu getting Ravio's bracelet. And Seb gets the bug net from the big chest near Desert Palace, near Desert Entrance. Seb does not have a sword at this point, but Foomafu does. Not really saying that they need a sword, but that's the way the swords currently sit at this point. Seb entering Thieves. Oh, it could be helpful if there's like any fairies or anything, or if there's fairies or anything. The items that are required to beat the game change periodically, depending on the seed. but one item is absolutely necessary for every seed, which is the Bow of Light. And Quake, which opens low roll. Seb working his way through Swordless Thieves Hideout. And foomafu finds the Bow of Light on Spectacle Rock. They really good, which is a required item to get. And Seb finds the Titan's Mitt, which opens the second half of Desert Palace, once we get the Sand Rod, and the low roll graveyard area. foomafu finding the Ice Rod in the house, the house right there. This fight room is going to be a little difficult for Seb because of not having a sword. Or it would be if they did not die in 3 bow shots. However, you do also need your energy to recharge. And foomafu finds the super lamp, which is really good because that deals the same damage as that deals the same damage as the final sword upgrade. As the final sword upgrade slashes. And the super lamp can also stop Uganon's teleports. Yes, we need all 7 portraits and the Bow of Light in order to beat the Thief. Seb getting the Stylish Woman, which is a useless check. However, it does open up her house for later use. Seb getting the Shady Guy check, which is 100 rupees. and Seb ends up getting the premium milk to take up the bouldering guy on Death Mountain. You do need the hook shot to get over to him, so you can't do that yet. But I am fairly sure he will be doing that to get the sword that is there. That was a good hint that Seb just got. The Misery Mire ledge has the stamina scroll on it. Seb currently getting the weather vane for Skull Woods and is going in to the second Dark World dungeon that we have seen in the seed. We're now going to Enoch. And going to get basically nothing except the Hylian shield out of it. Seb continuing to make his way through Skull Woods, still without a sword. Getting that heart piece and also getting the hint that that the Mire Ledge has the stamina scroll on it. And Fu also entering Skullwoods. Skullwoods is not as risky for foomafu since they have a sword. It's not as risky as what Seb is doing. She's going through the dungeon without a sword and probably hoping to find one before the boss fight against Knuckle Master. All right. I had half forgotten that they had Super Lamp. It does make sense that they both have Super Lamp, so I completely forgotten that. Even if that was allowed in this category, you cannot do that without the tornado rod. Only having green mail is definitely a downside with this dungeon, because you die really fast with this dungeon if you do not have any of the upgraded, or if you don't have any of the armor upgrades. Stab is getting to the point in the dungeon where we'll see if the second eyeball is required. And it is not, so Seb will not be grabbing that second eyeball. And we can also see at this point if the second chest is a major item, and it's not. Actually, Seb might be going to grab the second eyeball to try to get more health. Because having only the green mail is not fun when you're going through low roll dungeons. And no, Seb was just going to get the item outside and is now going to go fight Knuckle Master for the first painting of the seed. I will say the only real big advantage one of the only real advantages that Seb has is that Seb has basically finished this dungeon and has the bombs, which, even though they're not required for a dungeon in particular, they could be required for a part of Laurel Castle. And we know that the Dark Palace has something for Moldorm. And Seb gets a really good kill on Knuckle Master. And the heart container is some master ore, which will give which after foomafu beats the dungeon will give them the second master ore. They can go turn it into the blacksmith in Hyrule to get an item. And we also save Impa here, who unlocks a check that we know is useless. Because the check on the throne of Hyrule Castle is the only item that you get from Impa. The low roll blacksmith is the fire rod. Which is going to be fairly helpful to do earlier rather than later, because the lamp has very, very little range. But you need all 4 Master Word to end up getting that. foomafu getting a pretty good kill on Knuckle Master as well. They do slower the slower thing the last phase because of being at 1 health. And Seb on his way to enter Dark Palace. I do not fully remember where the bombs were because I was mostly talking, or I was talking to the chat that time when the bombs were gone. And by the time I looked down, I hadn't even noticed that Seb had gotten the bombs. Seb does get the smooth gem though, which opens up Queen Orange check. Once the painting is acquired. I'm already finding the big key for Dark Palace. And foomafu getting the heart piece from the Kaku treasure dungeon. And Seb getting the sand rod from Dark Palace. Which will fully unlock access to the Desert Palace. Great Rupee Fairy in the Seed of the Scam, which is really good because you have to give 3,000 rupees to Great Rupee Fairy, and A lot of times it is very, very useless what she ends up actually giving you. Instead, trying to get the chest that is usually a master ore in the vanilla game. And it's the hammer, which opens up a lot of Death Mountain, a lot of the rest of the Death Mountain, and it opens Tower Hera to be fully completed. Foomafu opening up Thieves' Hideout and going into it. Instead, going to Sanctuary to go get the peg's chest behind Rosso's house, and to and then is probably going to go up towards Tower Hera. He's going to get Fairy Cave on the way up. Way up the mountain. He's going to get Fairy Cave over here, which will give the blue mail. So now Seb will not be taking a ton of damage in low roll. Now your Phil is kind of stuck behind all the others. And Seb gets the hint of or that bouldering guy has a sword upgrade. You get the Tower Hera Weathervane as well. However, does not go for the Spectacle Rock Heart Piece. Foomafu getting bombs and is most likely going to be going towards Cause of Darkness after getting the Scoop Fruit guy right down here. Bow of Light was the Spectacle Rock Hurt Piece. Seb entering this fight room, which is an absolute joke with the Super Lamp. And gets a small key from that big chest right there. Phil getting the blue mail and Seb getting a garbage item from the chest down in the ferry section. Chest over on the right is small, so Seb is going to skip by. So Seb is going to skip by it and just go straight up to Moldorm. Seb using the hammer to knock Moldorm up and stun him for a little bit. Worked out really well, and now Seb is going to be getting $50 from Moldorm and another port and another painting. Seb is now going back to the Spectacle Rock Heart piece and is going to get the ball of flight. Foomafu enters Dark Palace, which we know has the Stand Rod and the hammer in it. Foomafu about to get the Stand Rod. And it looks like Seb is about to go into this treasure dungeon to look at the size of the chest in this area. And it is small, so Seb is just going to leave immediately. And go into desert area. It seems like Seb is going to get the stamina scroll from the Misery Mire Ledge. Which can be really good to have if your only attacking items are Ravio items and the Super Lamp. Treasure's Tower is a piece of heart. That's a fairly good hint to get, even though Treasure's Tower is only 5 floors. It's still a fairly good item, or a fairly good thing to not have to do, because it can waste quite a bit of time if you get bad floors. And now Seb is going to go over to Desert Palace. So the Titan's mid chest is small, so we will not Seb will not be going back to go get that. The Turtle Rock big chest on B1 is a silver rupee, so the runners will not be going to get that item at all. Seb having a bit of trouble with this mini boss, trying to hit him with the net. And that chest up there is a big chest, so Seb is going to go grab that. And it'll give us a small key. There are now 3 more chests, or 3 more chests to see what they are on this half of Desert Palace, and then we're gonna be going over to the other side. Seb finding the tornado rod in one of those chests. Foomafu gonna have a much easier time with this fight than Seb did. Seb getting a 3rd small key. And Foomafu about to get the tornado rod. Yes, Dark Palace is a pendant. Seb having to dodge the flying tiles, because without a sword you cannot use the shield at all. You cannot use any shield at all without having a sword. Both runners could theoretically skip the entire right side of this area. However, they still need one more key, and there are only two chests in the final area, and they still need two normal keys, or a normal key and the big key. And with only two chests in the other area, it would not be recommended for them to skip the right side. Instead, finding the big key underneath a boulder and a small chest, so that's just going to be left partially uncovered. Foomafu also finding the big key. And Seb finding a hook shot, which is a fairly good item to have, and it's actually required for this speed because Swamp Palace is a required dungeon. And Foomafu does get the hook shot as well. And Seb getting the final small key for this dungeon. This room is a lot faster. The bomb enemies. And Seb entering the boss fight. Super Lamp is really helpful for this boss fight. Because it does not take as many hits to stop the phase with the Super Lamp as it does with end each attack with the Super Lamp as it does with the sword. Using the sword makes these attacks go or last longer than if you were just using the Super Lamp. And Seb gets a 1-cycle kill on Zaganaga in phase 2, which is really, really difficult, if not impossible, to do with a sword, as opposed to the Super Lamp. And Oswald, the sage that Seb just got, is useless in the seed because the item that is rented out is the hate glasses. Once the runners find flippers, there's not much left. It's really just dungeon runs. I do think that all they are waiting for at this point is the flippers in order to be in go mode for the seed. I'm currently going to the low roll graveyard, which could have a required item. No, with the super lamp, a sword is entirely is just overall not useful that much. So I'm finding the small key for Laurel Graveyard fairly early. And gets the pouch, which is a fairly good item. Because that allows you to set something to both X and Y, which makes it a lot easier to use multiple different items at once. Foomafu making a trip uh, up Low Roll Death Mountain. I do not think that Foomafu is going to go all the way up to Ice Ruins at this point. However, uh, if Ice Ruins is required, Seb has a has an advantage in that because of having the stamina scroll. Seems like Seb is also going to be going up Dark Death Mountain. Who also gets the pouch. It's not as helpful for foomafu, but it is still fairly helpful because of Super Lamp and Super Net. Foomafu also going into the hookshot, the hookshot treasure dungeon to go and get that bottle. We have not gotten any hints on where Flippers could be. The only hint that we've gotten that that led to Margot Mill at this point was Desert, which we found the tornado rod. Seb finally finds the super lamp or the super net. Foomafu going back into Eastern. Going to get the final few checks in here. Foomafu using the super lamp against Yuga. And there are the flippers from beating Yuga. So at this point, after Seb beats Yuga, Seb's gonna be in go mode. And he's really just going through all of the dungeons or all the rest of the dungeons and finishing off Yu Ganon. Foomafu does still need to go back into Dark Palace to go and get the to go and get the hammer. Or to go and beat Tower Hera. Foomafu finding the big key for this dungeon, for House Gales, right? In this big chest, and then lighting door to the small chest. So they're not going to get that. And Fumofo getting the Master Sword. And a small key. Meanwhile, Seb getting the flippers. Being fully in go mode, and Scooper's out of the dungeon to get back a lot quicker than doing the outside section. Fumofo making some quick work of House of Gales and getting the great spin, which, although not required, is fairly helpful. That was maybe not having some problem with that little small trick there. Right there. And that is a small chest for the runners at this point. That means that this chest is going to be a small key. And now foomafu is about to go and face Margot Mill, who is not a difficult boss in really any way if you have a sword upgrade past the first one, or either of the super items. I'm also getting great spin. And the reward for this dungeon is the Gully Portrait, which is one of the ones that does absolutely nothing for us in this scene. And it seems like Foomafu is going to go re-enter Dark Palace. So it's gonna work on clearing the mimic room really quick. And Seb finishes fighting Margot Mill. I do not fully know what Fu is doing. But it would be just a lot faster to warp out at this point, since Fu is also in go mode. This point. Yeah, he missed the hammer the first time around and went back and got it again. But then didn't, but he went back and got it, and then Seb is actually entering the full dungeon of Todorok. Single purple potion there. An amazing move by Seb to kill all the enemies in that room to spawn the chest in. And Fu also enters Turtle Rock. And Seb gets the big key for Turtle Rock. With both with the amount of small keys and the big key all being on the first floor, they do not have to do anything too specific for the second floor. And Seb is about to fight Grinix. Takes 5 ice rods, and then afterwards you can just charge up a spin attack or a great spin and deal quite a bit of damage to him when he actually goes up onto the platforms. And Seb does beat Grinix. And gets Irene's portrait from the fight. Now, getting Irene's portrait does unlock her actual check, which is a bit annoying if you don't know where the triggers are to avoid. However, they're manageable. They're still fairly manageable to avoid. The fact that the last two dungeons that Seb has to do are in low roll, it means that we are never going to see Irene's check unless Fu gets it. Seb getting another bottle. Seb trying to do a little skip here, where you can shoot your bow and it will avoid the wall and hit the switch. And Fu does get Irene's portrait. And Foomafu is also entering Swamp Palace. And Seb getting another bottle. Which I think puts Seb at 5 bottles. 3 of which have purple potions in them. I was just going to leave that big chest right there behind. And Seb also just got the last key, which is, or the last key that he needs to beat this entire dungeon. Seb raised the shop for as soon as the cutscene is over. Seb kind of forgetting to hit that button over there to open the door to the main room. I was gonna get that big chest, even though it is, or foomafu was gonna get that big chest, even though it's nothing that he really needs. Meanwhile, Seb escapes the other room and gonna start fighting Fergus. And Seb is also going to equip the Ice Rod because if the Ice Rod can actually reset Argus's attack pattern, so that Argus just continues jumping towards you, and you can basically endlessly repeat the same pattern or the same general strategy until Argus ends up going down. And Seb saves Queen Orin from the dungeon, and can now, if he wants, go and get the red mail from Queen Orin. And now Seb just has to do the last half of this dungeon, and then level cast. foomafu is entering into the Argus fight. Uses the super lamp instead of the master sword to deal some more damage, or some damage fast, or to deal damage a little bit faster. Who does not do the pattern reset. And and foomafu is also about to save Queen Orin, leaving the only 2 dungeons left for Fu being Tower of Hera and Thief's Hideout. And foomafu does start the Thief Girl section. And Seb is going to start fighting Stallblind, in which if you use the hammer, it deals more damage than anything else that you can use in this fight, including you will see more of that in the second phase, where the hammer actually does double hit. And Stopblind is down. And all Seb really has to do is get the painting from Thief Girl, and then just go straight to the Laurel Castle. Sip a green rupee for the road, and it is now going to head off with all 7 of the sages. And foomafu enters into the Stallblind fight. Seb is opening the barrier to Laurel Castle. Now, Laurel Castle was changed a bit in the randomizer. You don't have to do all 4 of the trials that you would normally have to do to get to Uganon. You just have to, you just have to do 1. So we'll see fairly soon what that 1 trial is that they have to do. Or if they even have to do it at all, because if you could just get 2 keys, you should be just fine for the rest of the thing. Looks like the trial that they have to do is the hookshot trial. However, Seb's going to take a little detour into the lamp trial. Most likely to get that key that was hinted at earlier. And Seb does end up getting that key. Seb does Death Warp back to the beginning of Lorwell Castle, and can just take this warp to get all the way back. Meanwhile, foomafu is running through House of Gale, or Tower Hera, and is gonna try to beat the dungeon before Seb beats Ganon. And it's time to fight Argus again. This is a little bit scarier of a fight than the one in Swamp Palace for Seb, because he is only at 1 heart. But it's still pretty easy. You can still do the pattern reset and everything on this fight as well. There really is no risk to it. The big problem is going to be, most likely, Ganon. So I have equipping the Bow of Light. He's not going grab fairies, which is definitely a risky move. The super lamp really helps with this fight because it kind of stops Ganon from teleporting around. Usually in this fight, Ganon like teleport around everywhere. And Seb beats the first phase, and now it's really just tennis until harder phase to beat. And Zelda gives a heart container, which is a fairly helpful thing for Seb to get. So I'm doing some masterful dodging. And it's time for Seb and Eugen to play another round of tennis. Foomafu isn't too far behind, opening up Overall Castle. And that is it. Seb beats Euganon. Time will end once Seb touches the Triforce. And that is it. All right, and we have we have the runners going to join us. They join me in the booth here.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Hello.
Hi.
Let me mute the stream there. I heard me twice. That was good. Alright.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. What I said, right? Imagine going to Eastern.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The hints in this one were really, really annoying for me.
Like I thought we would have to go to ice.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I kind of was. I kind of was thinking that too. I was wondering where the last master was as I was commentating that.
Mm-hmm.
I was fully expecting to get it was the last master to get the fire rod and have to go to ice because it gave us that hint from fire rod. It gave us the hint for stamina. At that point, I think okay, it's just pendant deep to get the flippers and GG. It was that, but not the dungeon I expected though.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, there was the one of the hints. I think it was for Desert Palace maybe, but wherever we got the hook shot and the tornado rod, and as soon as I got those two, I'm like, oh, we definitely got to head over to Ice Ruins.
Yeah, like everything indicated that, and I spent the most time just dodging Eastern like I always do, and yeah, when I go to Eastern because there's like nothing left aside from some very isolated things, and I get the flippers, I say, okay, I lost because the meta in this tournament was everyone does the Eastern Palace super early, and if you do that, you just do this up 2 hours probably.
Yep, I went there before I got the bracelet, and so I got the sword, but I couldn't complete it and couldn't get the flippers. And then by the time I got the bracelet, I didn't come back until later.
Okay, I got saved by that.
I also I thought Dark Palace. I went in there and got the sand rod, and ended up leaving there early before getting the hammer.
Yeah, you didn't get the hammer when you were there the first time.
Yeah, there was a path to Moldorm and a path to Zaganaga, both from Dark Palace, and I assumed they were both pointing to the sand rod, which would have then the hammer would have been in Sand Palace or somewhere off of Sand Palace.
Yeah, I remember that. It was Lostwood area is on the path to Saganaga and specifically pod into Moldor. I actually stayed because of that, because I saw the bombs and then I see the sand rod, but at that point I was expecting the hammer instead of the sand rod. When I saw it's like, okay, let's stay here. And yeah, when I see the hammer, I just leave, and it turned out that was the answer. Luckily.
Absolutely. Yep, I got the sand rod, I left, it took me a while to come back.
Yeah, I felt really bad because I actually went into the mountain because I got the hook shot on the tornado run. It's like, okay, I will at least take the vein, and I took both checks on top of Death Mountain on the east, and it was just a major waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt
absolutely
really
the same.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I think the city went really well. I was prepared to play swordless because
that was the nice thing about doing Eastern early. I did get the captain sword pretty quick.
You ran around for a while, Seb, without a sword.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let's see if I can get a sword. But when I see the super lamp, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
even bought the premium milk in case I needed a sword. But after that, it was like, but who cares?
Yeah.
So I just go around burning everything. Then I even had some difficulties because of that, because I don't really know how to use the lamp, but it does so much damage that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't nice until that point, and then it got boring. it got cruel. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's all from me from the seed.
Yep. I never want to think about this seed again.
Yeah. Did you get the key on the lamp trial, by the way?
I did, yeah. I grabbed the small key on, I think, the second floor. And then I saw that we needed to go to the third floor, so I'm like, I remember there was a hint for the lamp trial. That should be quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember. I was talking about that. Like, yeah, there's a key on the lamp trial, so Seb's probably gonna go there and get the key.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to go back walking, but I didn't remember the path correctly, so I just ended up dying and going back to the.
Yeah, I fell off a few times.
Yeah. But yeah, GG's again. Thank you, folks,
GG.
for commenting. And yeah, thank you everyone
No problem.
for coming here. So pretty much is tomorrow, game 2, I mean.
Yep, game 2 tomorrow, same time.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a banger. Yeah, I think that's everything for me. So have a good one, everyone.
Adios.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Yeah. Right, bye.